Hello, today we will discuss element quality checks in finite element models. Now, while preparing your finite element model or your finite element mesh, now your mesh needs to pass through various quality checks, which includes aspect ratio, your warp angle, your skewness, Jacobian, and the TET collapse. And apart from these quality checks, there are certain other quality checks, but those are not that much relevant compared to these five. So we will keep our focus only to these particular quality checks. Now the first one is aspect ratio. You take out any element, let's say hexahedral element. Now you measure the distance between your nodes. Now you take out the maximum distance to the minimum distance. This will turn out to be your aspect ratio, which is nothing but a maximum edge length to your minimum edge length of any element. This will give you aspect ratio. So this is very fairly simple. There is no complications in that. The threshold for the aspect ratio is 5. Like it cannot go beyond 5. Like we have to keep our quality check within this range. If it is more than 5, then we have to shift your nodes by using transformation tool or your translation tool to keep it within the quality range. Now next is warp angle. Warp angle, it is nothing but it tells your deviation of an element from being planar, that how it is away from being planar. You take out any hexagonal element, let's say you take out any face from it, let's say a face which is made from node number 1, node number 2, 3 and 4. Now you divide the face into two triangles by joining the diagonals. Okay, now you draw perpendicular line perpendicular to this triangular face, similarly for the other face, and you measure angle between these two these two normals, and this will tell your warp angle. Similarly, you repeat the process for the other 7 faces or the other faces, you will get your warp angle. The threshold for the warp angle, we have to make sure it cannot be beyond 45 degrees. You have to make sure that it is within the quality range. If it is more than 45 degrees, then you have to shift your nodes to keep it within the quality range. The next quality check is your skewness. Now, skewness, it tells you deviation from the ideally shaped element. Let's say by the deviation I means the, let's say for a triangle, for a triangle, the ideally shaped element is an equilateral triangle, and the second deviation, the other deviation could be a scalene triangle or a isosceles triangle. So to measure your to quantify your skewness, let's say we have 3 nodes 1, 2 and 3. You start a line from your node number 1 and join it to the opposite edge. Similarly, you join the midpoint of your other two edges. Yeah, these are the midpoints. Now you will get two angles, phi 1 and phi 2. You note down these two angles. Similarly, you repeat the process for the other two nodes. Let's say here node number 3, you start from the node number 3 and go to the opposite face and join here, and similarly join the midpoint of the other two edges. Okay, similarly repeat the process starting from the node number 2. It is going to opposite face and join the midpoints of this edge and this edge. You will get two angles, phi 5 and phi 6. Now you arrange all these 6 angles into ascending order. Here ascending order, the minimum angle which you will get, you subtract it by 90, you will get your skewness. Okay, so that's how you measure your skewness. Now Jacobian, we all know that you cannot mesh your finite element model into based on ideally shaped element. Like the real world geometries are very complex in nature, so you cannot mesh everything based upon ideally shaped element. So what F is will transform your element from the global coordinate to your local coordinate. In your global coordinate, the element is in a actual shape, which is your which you have modeled, and in a local coordinate system, the element is based upon ideally shaped element. So the Jacobian matrix does this transformation from your global coordinate system to your local coordinate system, which is your ideally shaped element. So to do so, you have to generate a matrix Now this matrix, this is a Jacobian matrix. The determinant of this matrix is your nothing but a Jacobian. So this is a determinant of your Jacobian matrix, which is used to transform an element from a global coordinate to the local coordinate. Okay, the threshold for the Jacobian is always lies 0.5. Like it cannot be less than 0.5. Now, if any case, if it is falling 0, less than 0, then the element will end up having a negative volume. That means that opposite faces of an element are crossing each other. Many of the solver does not allow element with less than Jacobian 0. For example, LS-Jana does not allow negative Jacobian element. It will start with the negative volume itself. Moving on to next. Now tet collapse. Now this particular parameter exists only for the tetrahedral element. What you do, you take any node and draw perpendicular to the opposite face. Let's say this particular face, measure this distance and divide it by the square root of the area of opposite face, which is this area. Okay. Now similarly, you repeat the process for the other three nodes, node number 3, 2, and 4. Whatever will be the minimum of these values, you will have your tet collapse value. You have to make sure that tet collapse does not fall below 0.1. That is, tet collapse has to be always more than 0.1. So this quality check needs to be keep in mind while generating NFU models. Okay, thank you.